Okay, so Bamf here. Going to start a new game, and I am on PlayStation. So before we begin, please like and sub all that stuff. I want to reach a bigger audience. These videos are more for me. I enjoy making them; they're fun. But it would be kind of nice to reach a bigger audience, and I have some suggestions for the game. Helpful criticism, I would say. That I'd like one or two of the devs to kind of pick up on, and that doesn't happen if I only reach one or two people. All right, that being said, we're going to do a new game. We're going to do Tactician, and we're going to do the Dark Urge. I played regular through on a Drow Elf. I really liked that. It was a lot of fun. Lots of stuff I learned that I wish I would have known in the very beginning. So we're going to skip past this cutscene here. Okay. I'm not going to reset the tutorial. All right. No, I am on console, so there are some changes. I'm going to try and go over some of that, but I also want to take an opportunity to talk about the different classes and everything. So we're going to use the origin character. We're going to go with the Dark Urge. And if you didn't know, you can change the only one that you can do this with is the Dark Urge. I can't go to Astarion and then change the race. It's all preset. But if I go back to the Dark Urge on the console, anyway, you just R1 over, excuse me, and now I can pick whatever race I want. Now, I do have a build that I want to do for a Sorcerer or Warlock. I'm probably going to come back and do the Dragonborn on that. I'm a little racist. I don't like the half-orcs. All right, I get that they have some cool abilities. I just don't like them. They're ugly, and they're stereotypical, and blah. I get that Relentless Endurance is really good, and so is Savage Attacks. It's not my cup of tea. All right, so that being said, elves are really good because of the subrace with the fleet of foot. An extra 5 movement is really good. You're never going to wish that you didn't have that. Plenty of times I was at like 2 or 3 feet away, and I could have gotten another attack in, and I just shy of it. But we're going to be playing a monk. Monk is going to get tons of movement. There's also tons of items in the game that you can pick up for that. Plus, we have a really good mobility plan for Act 2 and 3. So I'm not worried about that. And normally, like, some of these other proficiencies are really good too, like the weapon proficiencies for the elf, the weapon proficiencies for the drow, and the weapon proficiencies for the Githyanki. Now, I have a build that I really want to do specifically for a wizard cleric, and I'm probably going to come back and do that on the Githyanki. It's like a Mystic Thirst kind of build, if you're familiar with that from D&D. Did do a drow on the first playthrough. I really enjoyed it. Kind of want to do one here again because drow weapons. All right. But if I do that, I'm going to be very tempted to just use the hand crossbows. So we're going to think about that. The other thing is, I really love the superior dark vision. It's so handy. And obviously, this advantage on saving throws against being charmed, also very helpful. Oops. Human is also really good if you wanted to just do a straight up wizard. The ability to wear light armor and a shield proficiency, you could start out with a 17 AC easy, which is huge for a first level wizard. Are you kidding me? So this package that they give the humans, really good. Not as good as doing the alternative, which is the variant where you get a feat at first level, because that's obviously better. But I don't think they're going that route. I really like to get the Yankee. The Astro Knowledge is insane for a main character. But I have, like I said, I have a build planned for that. I don't like the short races, so dwarves, halflings, gnomes, not my cup of tea. I'm racist and heightist. I don't know if that's a word. All right, so I get that Lucky is really good. Brave is kind of cool. I get that, gnome cunning is all right, and I know that there's a lot of fun proficiencies with dwarves. But even if I went with the Druigar and their superior dark vision, and then I believe that they also get invisibility and enlarge, which is kind of cool. I mean, so I am toying with that option. But ultimately, I think I just want to go, back to races. And since we're going to do the Dark Urge, I think I don't really play Tieflings that much. And even though they don't have the best subclasses and abilities, I kind of feel like this is the way I want to go. Thematically, I think it's going to fit a little bit better. So the Zario Tiefling, I did test it out. The monk cannot make use of their smites without using an actual weapon, and that's going to be problematic if we're just going to go around punching people. The Metaphyseles Tiefling, I believe, is it this one? So the Asmodeus one, you get Produce Flame, and then I think Burning Hands, and then I believe Darkness. I believe you get Darkness with this one, and I think that's the... yeah, the Asmodeus, right? So you get... Oh, yeah. Well, according to this, you're supposed to get Thermajury, Hellish Rebuke, and Darkness. The Hellish Rebuke is going to be fun. That'll be nice. Obviously, this is not going to be the same unless you get it after you make the character. So we'll just take this one for now. And like I said, we're going to do Monk, right? But we're going to start as Rogue. Because by the time we get off the Nautilus, we're going to be level 2 anyway. That's when we're going to start our Monk levels. But we get more proficiencies with the Rogue. So we're going to do that. We can't choose a background. Now, this is very important, is the background selection. So in my first run through, I did a Rogue, and I think I took Criminal because it gave me... It either gave me Sleight of Hand and Stealth, or it gave me Sleight of Hand and Perception. I can't remember which. But it's huge because I use those all the time, and I kind of knew I was going to use those all the time. I wish you could choose something other than Intimidation and Medicine. What the hell am I going to do with fucking Medicine? That doesn't do anything throughout the whole entire game. Intimidation, I mean, it's a skill tree that I don't typically take, but we're going to be aggressive. So fuck it. I don't care. And then abilities. Now, as a monk, we're going to want a higher strength. We'll eventually retrain him, but we're still not going to take strength as a primary stat. And the reason why is I didn't find this out until the end of Act 3, literally like the final battle, that the potions only last a limited time, but the elixirs last until a long rest. And guess what you can buy in town in Act 1? Auntie, what's her name? Auntie Mabel, Auntie Ethel, whatever her name is, the hag. She's up inside the Druid Grove, and she sells potions of Hill Giant Strength, giving you a 21 strength. So there's no reason for me to go and pick up one of these potions. I'm sorry, to put points into strength, and then go turn around later on and go pick up that point. I'm wasting points, right? So I know my end game is to be a monk. So we're going to absorb some of this intelligence down, and we're going to bump up our wisdom. We're going to ixnay the strength, because we're pretty much always going to have a 21 strength, and later in the game, we're going to have a 27 strength. We're not going to have to do anything other than drink an elixir. So I'm not worried about that. I do want an odd number here for the dexterity. because we're gonna get the hag's hair. We're gonna put that in there, and then with the graceful cloth, which we're going to get in Act 1, our dexterity is going to be 20. Now, this does irritate me that I have to put a point of intelligence, point into an intelligence. This bothers me because I want to use, I don't want to have that in there. All right, so what can I do here? All right, so we're going to get in fights. I don't give a shit. So the charisma is going to go down to 18. I know that's going to hurt me. The reason why I have the constitution at 15, I'm not putting any points in the strength. And when I take Tavern Brawler, you get a point in either constitution or strength. So when I do that, I'm going to put that point into constitution. And then after Tavern Brawler, level 8, we're going to take points and shove them into wisdom, and then more into wisdom or dex, one or the other. Actually, dex ends up being probably a better one to shove stuff into, just so you get a higher initiative. After going through this game, I don't think there's a ton of shit that actually increases your wisdom. I mean, everything else has something that'll increase your wisdom. I'm sorry, your other stats. There's a hat that'll increase your charisma. There's intelligent band that'll set your intelligence to 18, 17 or 18. There's something there's a parapet of health or amulet of health that's going to set your constitution to 23. You can get your strength easily up to 21, 23, or even 27, depending on what items you're wearing or drinking. There's gauntlets of dexterity to get you up to 18. As far as I know, there's nothing that's going to fuck around with wisdom. That doesn't mean that we're not going to not put something into it. Actually, what happens if we go 15 there? No, I don't like that. So anyway, that's what we're going to do for our start stats there. For our skills, we're definitely going to want sleight of hand and stealth. Fuck off with this deception. And perception is key. So we're going to put perception there. All right. Wait, why does it say choice pending? Oh, abilities. What? Oh, we still have a point to fuck around with. Yeah, all right. So we'll put, we can't put it in any of those because we need another point. Unless we do that. Does that get us anything long-term down the road? I could put the hag's hair here, and then I could do the first ability improvement here, splitting that. Oh, no, because we're doing the constitution thing. So we're just going to do... Whoops. We're going to do a 10 strength here, and I'm going to tell you why we're doing that over the intelligence. There seems to be something buggy with the game where if you have a negative modifier, it's going to give you that penalty even if the bonus offsets it. So if I have an 8 strength and I'm trying to do a strength check, it's going to give me a -1 on the strength check, and then it's going to look for any bonuses that I have and then give me those bonuses. So at a 27 strength, I'm going to have a +8 on that bonus for a strength check, but when you look at the roll, it's going to say -1 because you have an 8 strength, +8 because you have a 27 strength, and then it's going to go factor in whatever else you got. I don't understand how that works. If you have a 27 strength, it shouldn't go by your original base strength to say we're also going to give you this penalty. But just because we don't have anywhere else to put those 2 points, it's going to make a meaningful difference anywhere. I mean, I suppose I could go... fuck it. We're just gonna do that. We're gonna throw it inside charisma. We'll have a flat modifier for all our intimidation and all that bullshit. This looks good. And then skills, and then skill expertise. So we're probably gonna fuck around and find out a lot. We're gonna be stealing. So we're gonna probably want the stealth and the sleight of hand. And then appearance. All right. Oh, I also probably don't want a dude. You do end up like not being bad as like the big buff dude. That's actually kind of cool. Oh, you know what? I usually make the chicks. We're gonna go with a dude.
Where to next?
Let's hope the low.
Hells.
Be wary.
It's opened.
More of those wretched things.
There's magic keeping this chest sealed.
Where to next?
Let's hope.
Hells. Something just woke up down here.
Be wary.
It's opened.
All right, we're gonna go with voice
Keeping
3.
its chest sealed. I can feel its aura.
There, that's pretty strong head. We want I use suntan in a little bit. I mean, they got so many options. Like, who needs vitiligo pigmentation? I mean, it's nice that they included that for the 3 people that might want that, but maybe that's 18. Ooh, I actually kind of like that one. All right, we're just gonna go with that one. Number 6, where we were just a second ago. That's actually not bad. Gross, gross, gross. I actually kind of like that. Oh, let's just go black. I like that. You can't even see that. This one doesn't even seem like it does anything. Hair color. The black doesn't even look like anything. Yeah, all right. I'm okay without a horn style. Very important. Okay. No horn. We need a horn. I don't know. Maybe twisties, nubs, curved nubs, twisty nubs, nubby nubs. I kind of want I want like the Raphael horns. I don't think they don't have that as an option, so that's kind of lame. That's probably the closest. 12. Actually, that's not bad. They should have like a Darth Maul horn. That would be kind of cool. Actually, you know what? The first one looked kind of cool. The handlebars. Whoops. The motorcycle handlebars. Alright, we're gonna go with that. Are those little death earrings? No. Yeah, fuck off. There we go. Alright, important. Whoops. Alright, we're not a he, she. Alright, can we get like number 6 without all the fuzz? There we go. Alright, that's gonna be our dick. Alright, so let's review the character. We're gonna rename him. Oops. Scion of Slaughter. Oh, looks like it's spelled right. Yep. Alright, there we go.
You need a guardian. Choose one.
Where's my... What the fuck? Okay. Alright, let's see what happens here.
The blood in your head runs and pounds.
pounding blood obscures who you are. An overwhelming loss of memory. How you ended up amidst these hellish flames is just as hidden. You have nothing in your skull, besides your name and a headache. But you are in danger.
Wish I could have changed the eye color. It's alright though.
The torturer behind this killing. Now that sounds like your first good idea.
Okay, so
My head.
on the console, okay, so on the PlayStation, all right. So first thing I'm gonna do is turn the damn light on because I can't see shit. All right, hold on. All right, we're gonna do our options button. Excuse me. All right. First thing I want to do is turn the karmic. The karmic dice are going to be set to on. This, in theory, is going to give you better rolls. Like if you keep getting failing streaks, it's going to take that into account. I think it also works the opposite way. I think it works for your opponents as well. I noticed that I have slightly better luck picking pockets when it's off. I think it's just better. This is going to be true dice. So if you roll 3 ones in a row, you're going to get 3 ones in a row. I am American, so fuck off. We're going with the Imperial. You UK blokes and whatever else, you guys can do metric if you so wish, obviously. I leave the tutorials on sometimes. Every once in a while it pops up with something that I didn't know before. I mean, at this point, I kind of know them all, so I'm just going to turn it off. But they are kind of nice to go through and figure out, especially if you're on the console, because a lot of the times, people who are playing PC, they're having a completely different gaming experience. And I originally bought this for the PC. My laptop is technically able to run it on the specs. I couldn't get it to work past character creation. It just overheated the laptop. So, whatever. Here I am on PlayStation pissing and moaning because everybody in the world is having fun except for me on the fucking PC. All right. This is I think this is the default. Is to just go to the avatar. This is after combat. It's going to automatically go to whoever you had selected initially before combat began. That's good. So if it's not on there, you should just definitely have that. The analog selection stick. Now, what that is if I hold down the L3 joystick, it's going to go into this selection mode, and I can use that to hit the X button. And when I hit the X button, it's going to take my character. It's going to move to that square, and then to get out of that, I just hit the L3 button again, and then I can just joystick to wherever I want to go by running that way. Now, the one thing that I did not know, and this is crucial when you get to Act 2 and you have to do the brain puzzle. There's a giant puzzle where you have to map out the brain. You have to use this toggle. You have to go into the joystick mode, or the cursor mode. I'll call it the cursor mode. You have to go into the cursor mode, and you have to select over objects, and then you can highlight them in that one specific thing. I did not know that, and nobody in the fucking world had said anything about that because everybody did all their videos on PC. No one did them on console. So when you did console, it took me an hour to try and figure that shit out until I was like, oh, there's this selection mode for the cursor. Let's try that. That didn't end up being the way to do it. I wish somebody would have fucking done a video on that back then. Okay, let's go back into the options quick. A lot of this stuff is self-evident. Adaptive triggers. I won't worry so much about that. Maximum number of autosaves. I set it at 5. I don't know what the default is. I end up saving quite a bit on my own anyway. You probably only need a handful of regular saves. It's going to override the other ones. So you don't really need 5. These are camera options. Nothing fancy to worry about there. I did turn eavesdrop on. As you're going through the towns, you can see different conversations of people that are nearby. It pops up in a dialogue box. I do kind of like that. If I R1 over, now, if I, this is our control, and this is something that I didn't realize right away. If we look at the up, down, left, right pad, if we hold up, it's going to jump, or toggle us for jumping. If I do the left or right, it's going to toggle us between different selections, and that's kind of crucial in combat. I'll show you that in a minute. And then if we push down, it's either exam or hide party. So let's just take a look at that button. So if I get out of that mode, now if I just hold up on the pad, why are you going to make it...
Don't want to draw any attention.
Why isn't the jump thing working? Alright, well anyway, let's do this one since we're in this. This is stealth mode. Okay. So if I hold down the button, it's going to go back out of stealth mode. If I hold the button down, it's going to go into stealth mode. Now you can see that over on the right hand side, it's telling you we're in stealth mode, we're not in stealth mode. Alright, now I don't know why all those actions don't show up on a more frequent basis, but it's really frustrating because I know it happens on the PC, and I'd love to see like some of the rolls as they happen, and it doesn't happen on the PlayStation, so it's kind of annoying. Why am I incapable of jumping? What's going on? Alright, so... Oh, I was holding it down. Okay. Alright, so I was holding down the jump button, and that's not what you do. You just gotta tap the up arrow, and then that's gonna hold down the button. Then you can just use that to jump. And there's quite a bit of times when you're gonna have to jump from point A to point B. So that's a nice quick hotkey. You should figure that one out. And again, these are just the left, right, and up and down arrows. Now, let's see if we can get... Yeah, there's at least 2 objects here. Alright, so if I hold down the X button, it's going to do a search. Alright, so when it does the search, it's going to... Any object that you can interact with within, I think this is about 10 feet. Any object that you can interact in within about 10 feet is going to highlight. Okay, so I'm holding down the X button, and then you don't have to hold it down that long, I just did it to show you. And now it's going to give me 2 different things that I can interact with. Alright, the selection thing must only work in combat, so it's not working. If I go up or down, I can select between these 2. So let's go to the Mind Flare body. I can Mind Flare body. God, I can't speak today. Now, I open that up, it's going to show me everything that he has in his inventory. It's going to default to the upper left-hand corner. Now, if you look down on the bottom there, it says R3 tooltips on and off. So if I just tap in the R3 button, it's going to pop up with the pearl. It's going to tell me that first number there, the 0.02, that's the weight, that's how much it weighs. And then the second number, the 50, is how much it's typically sold for, plus or minus vendor, the vendor likability. All right, so that's going to, I mean, obviously we're going to take that. Now, if there's more than one item inside here, you can hit the triangle. That's going to take all of them, or you can just tap on the one object, and it'll pick them up individually. Now, here's the nursery. We're going to go here.
Thing came from the parasite now writhing behind your eye.
All right, we're going to investigate. So We're going to go scroll down to hit the investigate button. Now, so it showed you your bonuses on the bottom. I had a negative. That's fine. And then
Dressing is fragile. The slightest
that comes to
touch
become
can cause it to crumble.
that becomes more pertinent later on when there's a ton of bonuses and penalties. Now, I already know what happens if you touch it, so we're just going to leave. I don't think that there's any... Well, fuck it. Let's just touch it. Yeah, there's a healing pod like right across the chamber, so I'm not worried about that. But did that give me... There's nothing in there of use. Okay. So let's go back inside our options. We'll go back over to the controller. So the big pad in the middle is your map. So if I hold down the big pad in the middle or just tap it, it's going to come up with the map. Now, I can't fast travel anywhere because I'm on the Nautilus ship and there's nowhere to fast travel to. But if I were to hit the fast travel button, it would go and list all the places I have waypoints and I can fast travel to those places. That's very helpful. And it's a little misleading because when there's an NPC that's trying to fast travel and he gets thrown out of a portal, which made me not want to fast travel because I thought I could get stuck in portals. Eventually I got over that, but yeah, we'll come back to that. Options, controller. All right, the options button is going to come up with your game menu. The triangle is going to be end your turn. The context menu is going to be the square. Hold or interact is X. It's pretty standard. And then cancel out of things is going to be the circle. Let's see, move camera and hold world information. Oh, yeah, the R3 is just going to... Yeah, the R3 button is going to just move the camera on. But now if I hold the R3 button down, look, this is all the stuff that I can interact with. I can interact with that mind flare, and I have the R3 button held down. Now if I go... This is actually like a platform I can... Oops, over this way.
Someone else got out.
See, now this is something that's going to give a dialogue box, but I can't necessarily interact with it. Well, see, it's weird how they have that set up, because this should be something that highlights when I hold on the R3 button, but it doesn't. So if you're looking at something, you're like, is there something I can interact with here? You can always go here and you do the search. And like, oh, look, I can interact with this Mindfair plot.
Not everyone made it out alive.
And then it's going to, that one just gave me dialogue. This should be good if I do a search here. I can interact with that brine bulb. Actually, I think you can destroy that. But now if I go here and I hold down the R3 button, there's a piece of onyx on that table. And then there's cartilaginous, I can't talk today, chest that's over on that other platform. So we're going to go over there and examine that. So we'll just pick up this piece of onyx. And actually, when I did this, now you'll notice I held down the R3 button. You can see the chest up there in the corner. This is kind of one of these little buggy things. It's not picking up that little slate rune. So I had to hold down the R3 button, I'm sorry, the X button, to do a search and pick that up. Okay, there's the chest. I'm stuck on something. Let's take all that gold. And I don't know what I have. Let's...
Alright, what now?
I do not have a ranged weapon at all. Okay. So we're not going to fuck with that because we don't have a ranged weapon. All right, so we're going to go back in. Oops. So the pads. Okay. So L1 or L2 is going to pull up the list of your party over here on the left-hand side. Okay. L1 and R1 are both going to toggle through these pinwheels. Okay. This is, if you look at the PC, they have like a bar on the bottom, and that bar on the bottom has like all their potions and things that they can drink. We don't have that. Sometimes I kind of wish we did. Sometimes I feel like this is better. So if we L1 or R1, excuse me, it doesn't matter which, it's going to bring this up. This is going to give you a quick snapshot menu of things to do. So we can jump by just tapping the up arrow, right? Or I can jump by going into the quick pinwheel, hit jump, and jump from there. Now, if you go in here, it's going to tell you more information. So jump up, down, across, your strength affects how far you can jump. So if you look at my character right now, I can only jump like to here. Now, when I get to those strength potions, my jump will probably be closer to out here from that same spot. So your strength does matter. We're suffering through it on this first level, though. All right, so can be accessed gameplay by pressing up, like I just told you. So press up on the controller, not the controller, the arrow pads, and you get the same thing. Now here's where you get the extra info. Bonus action. It costs a bonus action to do this. If you're in combat, it costs you a bonus action. If I'm doing it outside of combat, it's no big deal. And if I try to jump here, it's going to walk me first and then jump the remaining 10 feet. Because if you look here, it's only 10 feet. All right, this is throw. You can pretty much pick up anything in the world and throw it. I don't think that I don't have the strength to pick this up. Actually, I don't think anyone does. I know. Here we go. We can pick up this body. Yep. All right, so I don't have the strength to pick up this body. It's too heavy. But if your strength is high enough, you could pick that up and then you could throw it. Shove. Actually, this is an action that you get to do quite frequently, and it's very... Oh, sorry, I'm getting tired. Probably have to cut this video short soon. It's very good for shoving people off of cliffs or even just back into a fire. Dip. This is good. All right, so here we have some flames. If I go into my character... You can see that I got regular, what is this, the short sword? Does 4 to 6 plus 3 piercing. So it's taking my dexterity, because it's a finesse weapon, and it's using that for the damage modifier. So if I go into here and I select dip, and then I select these flames. Oh, that one won't work. All right, it's got to be... It won't be the flames. See those little embers there? It's got to be like the embers. So you can't just do it on something that's random. Like, you think you could do it on these flames, but you can't. It's got to be on, like, something that's on the ground. So those embers are on the ground. Now I dipped it in fire. Now if I go into... If I go into the character, now it's going to do 1 to 6 plus 3 plus an additional 1 to 5. Now, if you look down, it says that there's only 1 turn remaining. When you dip an item in combat like that, it only lasts a few turns, so I'd have to re-dip it. I'm just going to stop time here. Let's see how long it it lasts.
Blood. No, never mind.
All right, so it lasts like 3 turns, basically. You can see that in the right down there by where it says short sword, light, finesse. It says dipped in fire, and it tells you how long it lasts. Now, weapons like that, things like that in the real world, they don't last that long, like 2 or 3 turns. However, if you get a poison, there are some things that you can throw on the ground and dip them in, and they last until a long rest, which is a long, long time. So poisons, you'll see me do this in this playthrough, not right now because we won't get poisoned for a bit, but you'll see me certainly throw poisons onto the ground and dip all my weapons and all my characters in there, and then go around and deal with that. So dipping your weapons, very, very good. Now you can, oh, because I have it paused, you can't see that. All right, so that'll eventually go away. All right. These are all good to know. Improvised weapons. You can pick up chairs, tables, barrels. Lots of times you're going to be picking up barrels and throwing them. Dash is your increased movement speed. It doesn't really apply outside of combat, but you can usually do that to double your speed to get up to an enemy quicker. Hide. Now, this is the other one that we were doing. You can hide by doing a stealth check, and then you see it says hold the controller down to hide. So if I just get out of this and I hold the button down, it's going to hide. The disengage button, if you're in combat and you don't want to provoke attacks of opportunity, if you're basically right next to someone and you're trying to get away from them, you need to disengage first or they're going to get a free attack on you. And if you have tons of hit points, that's fine. If you're like at 1 and you need to get away from it because their one more hit is going to kill you, you need to disengage. If one of your opponents is down, or if they're entangled or sleeping or enwebbed or something like that, you can use the help action to help them get out of that. All these ones can be set up. So I just hit the square button to activate it. I can hit the set slot. I can go in and activate, put anything I want in any of those. So I can customize all these wheels however I want. And I do that especially with the spellcasters, because I like to have all the spells by level in a specific order. Piercing Strike, this is just a type of action that you can take on your turn. It's part of the weapon, actually. So if you go down to the weapon, see it says the damage, then it says proficiency with this weapon type unlocks, and then it unlocks those 2 attacks. So if you go back out to this pinwheel, it unlocks these attacks. This one can be done once per short rest, and this one can be done once per short rest. So every short rest, you can do these once each. And there's just different attack options. They do slightly different things. This one has a chance of throwing your enemy off balance, maybe knocking them prone. This one just does a gaping wound, which inflicts more damage over time. And then we have sneak attack damage, which we have to have advantage on, which is a whole nother issue. And then sneak attack melee, so this is ranged, this is melee. Produce flame, that's the cantrip that we can do. So we can just do that, and then I can throw, actually. Right, we can throw that. So I can do. Let's go throw our flame. Okay, so having trouble selecting that. Let's try the next one. Having trouble selecting that as well. Alright, attack main hand. Is it going to let me do it? No. Alright, so technically I should have been able to throw that flame from the produce flame. It did not let me, so screw you. Alright, so this is these tools. These are different objects that I have. The keychain, these three right here are pretty cool. So as I pick items up in the world, how they're supposed to work is any of your material components for making potions should go inside this bag. Automatically, it should. They don't always do that. Anything that you pick up food-wise should go inside your camp supply bag, and any keys you pick up should go inside your keychain, and that way it helps clean up your inventory. It doesn't always work that way. All right. So now, as far as going into your character screen, this is just going to be an overview of your characters. If we right click, we're going to go over to our skills. This is going to list out all our skills. And this will list out what armors we're proficient in, what weapons, nothing big there. This is a list of our conditions. This is going to grow quickly. Especially as the main character, you're going to get a lot of permanent buffs. So this is kind of nice. Plus, it'll tell you if you have any curses or anything like that. It'll list it up in this area. Or actually probably list it up inside the conditions. This is more for skills and powers that you attain for stuff like that. And then this is your inventory. So like I said, your bags are pretty important. You can go inside. This should list out all of your random items. This is going to be where you have your camp supplies. So you need 40 camp supply. Well, on tactician mode, you're going to need 80 camp supplies to do a long rest. So that's going to be key. And then this should be where all your keys go. Now, sometimes your keys and stuff don't automatically go in. So it's got to be a programming bug. So you can go over to your keychain. You can hit the square button. It's going to pull up the drop-down menu. And then you can go into open. And then you can drag. It won't let me drag the thieves tools or any of this other stuff. It only lets me put keys in there. So and just like this should only let me put in food items, this will only let me put in regular potion items. They do have other backpacks that you can store other random things. There's some, it's kind of wonky how some of this stuff works. All right, so that's a quick overview of some of the differences between the console and the PC. I'm going to continue this run through, but we're going to call this one done for right now. Hope you enjoy, and please subscribe.